Today I'm going to be going over some of the Once Human official release FAQs or release information that you need to know. If you are as excited for this game's release as I am, make sure you're subscribing to the channel down below with the notification bell on so that you don't miss any uploads. There's going to be tons here on the channel very shortly. Drop the video a like and let's jump straight into it. So firstly, we're jumping into platforms and servers. How many characters can I create on the same account? And it says, due to technical limitations, only one character can be created per account at launch. After joining a server, you will not be able to create a character on any other server. We aim to provide support for multiple characters per account in August 2024. Thank you for your understanding and we apologise for any inconvenience caused. Now, at the time of recording this video and at the time of the launch of this game, which is going to be the 9th of July, that means that you've got a minimum of 3 weeks, if not longer, to wait until we get into this section of the game where they're going to be able to offer multiple characters. Now, further in, it does explain that there is going to be two servers, a PvE server and a PvP server. Make sure you join the right one so that you can play with your friends. If some of them are on PvE, some of them are on PvP, you're not going to be playing on the same server. So we're going to come on to that when it's under one of the other bullet points in just a second. But make sure that you join the same server as your group or your friends or whoever you're playing with so that you can all play together, because you'll only have one character. So otherwise you'll have to delete that character and start again, if that is of course possible, which I'm assuming that it is. Now, the next thing here says, are game accounts cross-platform? Can I play on multiple platforms? And the answer is, Once Human accounts are cross-platform. If you log in using the same account, you will gain access to your character regardless of the platform. However, cross-platform support is not available for some account types, such as Steam accounts, due to their inherent limitations. We will be adding more account options in the future to make it easier for you to play across platforms. For now, please choose the platform based on your personal preferences. Third thing here says, can I play with players on other platforms if I log in using Loading Bay? Of course you can. All platforms have access to these same servers. Whether you log in through Loading Bay, Steam or any other platform, you will be able to play with your friends so long as you are all on the same server. Myself, I'm going to be using Steam. I imagine most people will probably be doing the same, but you can play with everybody as long as you choose the PvE or the PvP server, which we're going to get onto in a second here. So that leads nicely onto this fourth question, which says, what are seasons in the game and what are scenarios? So firstly, Once Human has a seasoned system, or a season system. Each server only exists for a single season and only has a single scenario. The content available on the server depends on its scenario. Every scenario offers different rules, environments and stories to diversify your experience. When your current server's season ends, you can move all resources and items that you have earned during the season to your personal domain at Eternal Land. You will then be able to register for another season. To make things easier to understand, we will have two servers at launch: Manibus, which will be a PvE only server, and Evolution's Call, which includes PvP content. You are free to choose whichever server you prefer. We have many scenarios in reserve and are currently developing new scenarios, so keep an eye out for later announcements regarding new scenarios. They should be coming very soon. That follows on to the next question here, which says, which scenario should I choose? The Manibus, which is the PvE, or Evolution's Call, which is the PvP? To make things simple for new players, Manibus, the PvE server, and Evolution's Call, which is the PvP server, will be similar at launch, with basically the same rules, content and story, but the main differences are as follows. The Manibus PvE server does not include any PvP content. You will be able to fight powerful monsters and experience open world survival with your friends at your own pace. Evolution's Call, with the PvP server, includes PvP content such as Stronghold Conquest. Nearly all PvE content will also be available, so you will be able to enjoy fighting fearsome entities. Rewards in both scenarios are the same. You should choose the scenario based on whether or not you want to take part in any PvP content. Now, it says nearly all PvE content there, so I'm hoping that if you choose the PvP server, you're not going to miss out on any boss fights or anything cool like that. But from what we can tell so far, it does say that it's pretty much going to be the same. It's just going to be PvP content, at least for this first initial scenario scenario or season or whatever you want to call it here that they're bringing forward with this release. So we'll take it from there and I guess see from that point onwards what we can go forward and do. So the next question then is probably what a lot of people, including myself, had in mind after hearing that it was going to be a season-based thing is, will I lose all of my rewards and items when a season ends, and if not, which items will I keep? And they've said at the end of a season you will get to keep important resources like blueprints, cosmetics, furniture formulas and weapon accessories. However, common resources, weapons and items will be transferred to your personal domain, Eternal Land, to maintain fairness. Some resources in Eternal Land can be carried over to a new season, while others can be used to construct your personal domain. Eternal Land offers freedom for customization. We plan to add more features to encourage user-generated content. You can design Eternal Land as you like and invite your friends to join in the fun. So I guess this is going to be kind of like your home place, your home island, giving me kind of Vivarium from Hogwarts Legacy kind of vibes, or your room of requirement there where you get your own little personal space. Not too sure how this is going to work fully yet, as I haven't actually played any of the early access for Once Human, but if anybody has managed to get hands-on with that, do let me know in the comments. But I'll be bringing you guys video updates on that ASAP once the game does drop later today. And then of course, one of the next most important things, then I would think most people are probably wondering this like I was, system requirements and installation. So the languages that Once Human currently supports at launch, the PC version of Once Human is available in English, German, French, Japanese, Korean and traditional Chinese. We plan to add Russian and Spanish in September and aim to support more languages in the future, so stay tuned for updates. If you want the game to support your language, please let us know. Just drop us a message on the customer service channel, so you can go ahead and do that in the Discord server. What are the minimum and recommended system requirements? So here you can see on screen, I will read out the minimum recommended and the 60 FPS performance specs that they recommend, because I think it does make a big difference for a lot of people whether or not they're going to check out this game. So firstly, the following requirements are referenced for playing Once Human at 1080p. So if you've obviously got a higher quality monitor or something, bear that in mind as well. The minimum specs they've put here though are an Intel Core i5-4460, of course on Windows 10, with 8GB RAM, a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 750 Ti, 4GB, or an AMD Radeon R9 270, with DirectX version 11 and 55GB of storage space. What they recommend you run it on, of course, Windows 10 again. This time they're recommending an Intel Core i7-7700, 16GB of RAM, a GTX 1060, 6GB, or an AMD Radeon RX 580 with 55GB available on an SSD, and at 60 FPS, if you want 60 FPS performance. Bearing in mind this is only at 1080p as well, they're recommending an Intel Core i5-12400F, 16GB RAM, a GTX 3060 or an AMD Radeon RX 6650 XT with 55GB SSD. So it's going to be quite an intensive game by all means there. It seems like it's going to be quite intense on the system side of stuff. Obviously there'll probably be settings that we can tune down, you would hope, so things like your textures and obviously shadows and light tracing and all that kind of stuff, which should be able to bring this down if you are playing on a higher resolution monitor, or you wanted to maybe lower those PC heats a little bit. If you're on console, of course, it'll be hopefully ready to go on those consoles and devices as it comes out. And obviously one of the follow-up questions to this then is, why does it require so much storage and RAM? And they've said that it offers a high quality audio visual experience, which requires a large amount of storage space for HD images, textures, sound effects and map files. And additionally, as an MMO survival game, we aim to render long viewing distances so that players can see structures in the world as far as possible. We're continuously working to optimize the game for the best possible experience. So that is that. Now there is a lot of other stuff here, like changing the installation location, changing things like the language and all that good stuff. Basically, if you're having any troubles with the download once you get to that point, or any of the other things in the game, there's quite a lot of troubleshooting stuff here that you can see me scrolling through. What I will do, instead of reading this out and making this video super long, is actually just leave a link to this page in the description below. Alternatively, you can go to the Once Human official X page and there is a link to this FAQ as well, so you can actually check it out for yourself and see what's going on there as well, so you can kind of have a look through all of these different things if you are interested in them. But other than that, that is pretty much going to be it for today's video. If you're excited for Once Human and you want to stay up to date with the latest content as well as see some really helpful guides, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below with notifications notification bell on, and do drop the video a like if you found it useful. Other than that, I'll catch you again shortly in a brand new upload, so take care and peace.